everybody. Thank you for joining us on the Cool Crone. My guest tonight is DeAnn Shield Maiden, and I'm so happy to host her again. Thank you for coming, DeAnn. It's
thanks for inviting me. I always love being on here with you. It's always fun.
It's always fun. It's really fun. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about politics. So if you can put some questions in the chat for us, that would be great. I have a few things to start us out. And well, first, DeAnn, tell us what's going on with you. What's happening with your channel and your oil business and everything? What's happening?
Well, I got to my 5,000. So I think I'm like 5,400 and something. So I'm working on getting to 6,000.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's fantastic.
And my business is doing well so far. Everybody's liking the oils and stuff, and I'm enjoying making them. And I've just been really, really keeping busy because I'm the only one doing it on, the readings and the shows and the oils and but I'm enjoying it. I love it. And it seems to be helping people, and they help me. So that's what I'm going to do. Just that. Wow. And Father's Day, we went over to my daughter's, and my daughter made prime rib. First time I ever tasted it. I never tasted prime rib before.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That's nice. That's really nice. I hung around the house on Father's Day. It was great. I had a day off. I had a show that night, but
that's why we went over there, decided to stay at the house and watch movies with the grandkids. And, I was supposed to do a member video, but I thought, it's important to spend time with my husband and,
yes.
for that day.
Very much so. Yep. Very much so. Well, let's see. I should tell everybody what's going on for me. I have a show tomorrow night with Gerald. We're going to talk about Letha, which is also midsummer, for those of you who follow the Wiccan Wheel of the Year. And after that, I'm taking a little break from YouTube. I'm doing a YouTube vacation. So you won't see me live for a little while, but you'll probably see some astrology videos get popped up there. So I know I owe everybody one for predictions for the full moon in Capricorn that's coming up towards the end of the month. So I'll be doing that. But other than that, you won't see me. I'll be taking a break, which I'm really looking forward to because I'm very tired. Okay.
That reminds me, Andre's going to be on my channel Saturday.
Oh, nice.
So at 1 p.m. Central, he's going to come on.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
I like working with him too. He's a really nice guy.
He's a really nice guy. So, I don't know quite how to formulate this question, but Donald Trump said that he wasn't going to stay in Milwaukee. After all of those comments came out that he didn't think very much of that city, then it came to light that he had said he's not going to stay there during the convention. He's going to sleep in one of his own hotels in Chicago. And people they didn't think that was very good either. And so then he turned around and said, oh, okay, then I'm going to stay in Wisconsin after all. So I think we need to do a quick little reading and figure out, is he really going to stay in Wisconsin?
Is he going to stay in Wisconsin?
Or is he going to be there at all at the convention? That's the other thing. Is he going to make it?
I bet he ticked off a lot of people from Wisconsin. My husband's from Wisconsin. I'm sure that a lot of people were not happy about that. And then he said, oh, it was because of crime. I was talking about crime. Well, crime's down there.
Crime's down almost everywhere. Yeah. Oh, here's another question. Thank you, Peace Mama, for the question.
Let's see here.
All right. Well, my pen book says he's not even going to show up in Wisconsin. So let's see
Oh,
what.
really?
Yeah. So the first card I get for him is the Fool. So he's on some kind of a journey, but I don't think he's on the journey to get to the convention. Then we have the Queen of Swords. So someone is going to be telling some truths, and this may have to do with him getting his sentence a few days before the convention. He's going to be, I think, holed up in Mar-a-Lago. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near Wisconsin. And I think that he's going to regret not being there, but I don't think he's going to be there. And I certainly don't think he's going to be sleeping at a hotel in Wisconsin.
Well, I got that. They thought, in the past, they thought he's just really, it was what he said was really just cold. And they felt like it was just cold and ruthless, and it ticked a lot of people off. They think that he's a childish person and very attention seeking, which is the truth. Let's see here. Yeah, it's caused a lot of gossip that has been going on in Wisconsin about him. They're all talking about this. He would like to go just because the money. He wants to collect money for his campaign. But people are starting to awaken to what he really is. He kind of woke some people up when even some supporters, when he talked about Wisconsin, they love Wisconsin. My husband's from Green Bay, and everything's, green and yellow. You're born with green and yellow Packers. But people are having some new feelings about this. They're kind of emotional about it. I feel like it set him back. It's not going to make him money. It set him back. And if he goes, he's thinking it's going to be just a big disaster with the tower. It's not going to go well. And so he's, he's also thinking he's a little slow up here. He's losing his off balance, some of the things he's saying, because he's all worried about the police and what's going to happen there. So he even went to a rally, said, I don't care about you. I know it's hot, but I don't care about you. I just want your vote. And I'm like, well, how stupid. And he maybe will go, but I don't think he will. If he does go, I think it's going to be a total disaster. I don't think he's going to be well received.
Yeah, I have long felt that he would not go, but that he would want to go, and that him not going would be some kind of a letdown for him, but mainly because he's missing that zhuzh that he gets from the crowd. Like, he needs that adulation and attention. And I don't know. And I've also thought for the last few months that the actual atmosphere around the convention could be dangerous. I mean, there could be some kind of violence or something. I mean, not good. I mean, the Republicans are really desperate. They're really,
I know. They are. Don Jr.'s on talking to people, and what's the guy's name that has the gravelly voice? He does the radio. Anyway, I can't think of his name. It's not Bannon, but it's the other guy.
the guy with the Sandy Hook. He lost the case
Yes.
against the Sandy Hook people. Yeah, I can't think of his name at the moment either, but yeah, that guy.
He was in front of a church of people preaching how the Democrats want to kill Biden or Trump, and that they're going to assassinate Trump, and this is war. And so did his son. This is war. So they are encouraging, and I can't get it, church members and other people to violence. They're saying, this means war. And he's acting like this is all of us. They're doing this to all of us, and Trump's standing up for you. He's taking the heat for all of you rather than he committed crimes. I also noticed that the people who were the jurors in the Hunter Biden trial, they're not afraid to come on air and talk about things. But the people who were the jurors in Trump's trial are hiding out. So that should tell people something too. Which side is violent?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's read about just the atmosphere of the convention.
Okay.
And maybe it'll come up who's going to be there. I bet you Don Jr. is going to be there. Steve Bannon's going to be there. I bet you all the stand-ins for Trump, all the surrogates for Trump will be there.
Now, which convention you talking about? The debates, or are you talking about
the convention in mid-July? It's July 15th through the 17th in Wisconsin. So that's
okay.
The Republican convention. That's where they nominate the person who's going to be their candidate, because Trump hasn't officially been nominated. He's just assuming nobody's challenging him.
I know one of them said that we need to have another candidate. One Republican lady said.
That was the lady, I think she's from Alaska.
Yeah.
Lisa Markowski.
They ought to think about it, because, if he's in jail, he's not going to be, they're going to be with nobody.
What's going to be the state at the convention? What kind of atmosphere? What kind of conditions of the convention? Very interesting. Oh boy. Shall I go?
Yeah, you go ahead and go.
All right. So the cards that I got were very interesting. We got the King of Wands, which is usually kind of Trump, right? But this isn't Trump. So we have the King of Wands. We have some man, some person in the Republican Party that is really feeling like they are running things. They own it. I don't know. I can't think of who the top person of the RNC is, but that person is really feeling like, hey, it's my moment, belle of the ball kind of time, right? But then we get the Hanged Man. So something is going to cause things to come to kind of a halt. I wonder if that's Mr. T not coming, or some event surrounding Mr. T that causes everybody at the convention to kind of stop and have to reassess things. I mean, the next card we get is the Six of Wands, and I don't know if this is for the Democrats or the Republicans. We got the Six of Wands. We have some kind of a happy party for somebody. So somebody's going to be celebrating at that convention. And it's probably going to be who's ever named the nominee. And then I have two pretty sad cards at the end, the Three of Swords and the Hermit. And I'm again going to say this is Trump. Trump got the Hermit last time too, that he's going to be sad that he's not there. He's going to feel like he really wished he could have been there. And he's going to blame it on the Democrats. He's going to blame it on Judge Marchand and Joe Biden and the Democrats. And I couldn't go. I have this gag order and all these lawsuits. And they really are guilty of election interference. This is going to be his whole case for the next year. But still, all the other cards are not that great, but somebody's going to be happy. The final outcome card, and this is for the Republican convention, is the World. So I think this may be, can I say, the last Republican convention that we're going to see. I don't know about dangerous or anything like that, but it's not bueno, not good. Not a good feel at that convention.
Yeah,
Lucy Claire said Bannon will be in jail. Yes, you're right. He'll already be in jail, so he won't be.
He will be. Yes, and I hope he goes to a regular jail too. I think he is going to a regular jail. Bannon.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is for 4 months. 4 months. He puts all this fuss up.
I know, and we would be in jail for years.
Oh yeah.
Years.
Oh yeah.
He was screaming too, turning red in the face like a madman, going, this is war, and screaming like a madman. It's like, this guy's crazy. Yeah, but I got
very crazy.
He is. I got the Two of Wands. So there's some bad planning with this convention. They had bad planning. I think just picking him, not having anybody else, it could be that. but I feel like there's a moon, so there's some uncertainty or maybe some secrets or something that are going to come out that we're going to find out. And I feel like, this can stand for a lack of teamwork. It can stand for like a big ego, which we know he has a big ego, but there's just a lack of teamwork. I feel like there are going to be some there's going to be some setbacks with this. It's not going to go the way he wants it to go. And then let's see. Yeah, it talks about, I don't know why this come up, but yeah, it talks about him being exploiting, materialistic greed. This can stand for this again, superficial setbacks, losing money, losing ground. I think he's going to be ruthless, again, try to intimidate people. I feel like there could possibly be some problems there that they have to call it off. I think a lot of people are realizing the truth that he's a liar. It's coming out, but I don't think that he's going to get to I don't know if he's going to get to go, because there's going to be some truth coming out, something that's going to set him back, that people are going to realize he lied about. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to be there either.
Yeah, I think this is really not bueno for the Republican Party. I think you're right. I think they've just made a big fat mistake with all of this. But, it's a cult, and they're all under the spell of the cult leader. So, they aren't really, I mean, they are responsible for themselves, but, people in a cult have been brainwashed.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's
even told them that they could be better to kill themselves than have it be a Democratic president, telling them to commit suicide. I mean, he's actually said things like that. So he's going full Jim Jones. I'm surprised he don't sell him Kool-Aid, if he loses.
Yeah, well, even before he loses, speaking of that, here's Peace Mama's question. And I know this is still the convention, but maybe we could do a separate read on this. So Secret Service and local police are concerned that guns are allowed at the RNC convention. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Will there be problems because of this is why I'm thinking that it might be very dangerous.
I'm feeling too. Yeah. There's going to be
something dangerous, something threatening or violent even. So let's see about that. Will the guns cause something awful to happen? Will somebody use their gun on another person? Why do they're all MAGAs. Why do they need guns to protect themselves? If they're all MAGAs, it just doesn't make any sense.
I know, and you do not see Democrats doing that. If you just look at that alone, you don't see us trying to go to violence, No. Like I said, the jury didn't have to hide out. They were trying to say that Biden and his wife were trying to intimidate the jury by being there for their son. They're trying to intimidate them. Like they're mafia, they said.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. A lot of swords I got.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah. Shall I go?
Yeah, you go ahead and go.
All right. So again, we get the King of Wands. So this is whoever is presiding over the convention is really kind of the power has gone to their head. So, that's that. And then I got the Page of Wands. And so they're not acting with maturity. These people who are carrying around the guns are really, they shouldn't have guns. They're not they're not mature folk. They're not mature people, because we have the Seven of Wands here, which is, you know, a little dust up there. People being a little too freaky with their impulses and not really behaving like you would in polite society. Then the last two cards are the Queen of Swords and the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is always kind of a sad card, kind of that bully card. But the Queen of Swords is, she can be the Queen of Truth, right? But look at this. She's in armor. So in this deck, she's saying, yeah, bite me if you come at me, because she's willing to fight. She's ready to fight. And I'm thinking too that the guns are maybe extensions of some piece of their anatomy that they're not very proud of, that they think,
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
And if that's it, that kind of emotion very often prompts people to violence, especially crazy men, crazy MAGA men. So not good. I did pull an extra card though, just kind of a timing card. Like the violent part is going to happen really quickly when it happens. Like the whole thing is not going to feel violent. It's all going to feel kind of like they're going through whatever emotions they're going through, kind of so-called normally as this weird thing can go through. But when it heats up, it's going to be really fast. It's going to be bang, 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 you know, when it happens.
Yeah.
So,
well, I remember during the January 6th when he had that speech he gave, he wanted to let the guns through. And he said, I'm not worried about it. They're not here. They're not going to hurt me. That's all he cared about. As long as it's not for me, who cares who gets hurt? You know, if they're his enemies, he don't care.
And he's so foolish, because had he been anywhere near that Capitol and a gun went off, it would be all too easy for a stray bullet to hit him. And he never thinks of things like that. You know, he's just like, he thinks he's invincible. It's just crazy. So,
He's
all right.
a narcissistic sociopath.
He really is. He really is.
Well, I got that there's some secrets going on and some hidden motives. I know there may be some planning for something to go on with some of his MAGA people that they plan. These people are cruel. They're spreading malicious gossip in order to get people riled up that have guns. And they say, oh, it's not, what did Johnson say? It's the heart, it's not the gun. Well, people who have a bad heart, when you're riling them up with all this gossip and stuff, you're going to make something happen. So I think they're really hesitant to go forward with this convention, you know, with this thing. They're worried. There's some worry about it. I think they know. And I got this as, yeah. So I feel like there could be a few people that are hurt. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like a ton of people, like a mass shooting or anything like that. But I feel that there could be a few people hurt, or they're planning on violence. They're conniving. They're conniving, and they're planning, you know, something. I feel like these people are impatient and they're just throwing tantrums. They want their way. They don't want a fair election. They want Trump in, and that is it. He's convinced them that they won, that the Democrats are cheating. And I feel like they're going to be very disappointed. This also can stand for cheating, them saying that they cheated. So I feel like there's some planning going on behind the scenes, you know, lunacy at the bottom of the deck. You know, some crazy people with guns that are going to show up, and they need to cancel it.
And I have to go back to what I said before. Who are they protecting themselves against? And who are they going after when it's all Republicans? What is wrong with them? Why would they need to? And I can just feel it. I can just feel that you're right. There are many, many of them who just want the violence. They want to dust up. They want some kind of confrontation. But this is not the right place. And yet these morons are going to charge in there and create some sort of melee, and people are going to get hurt. And it's going to be their own people.
Yes.
I mean, it just defies logic. It just
And he
defies
don't care. Did you
No.
see that? Did you see that rally where he had somebody pass out from heat stroke? It was like
Yes.
112 degrees. And they
Yes, I
said
did.
water. He goes, you need water? And he took his water bottle, drank it, and put it back.
Yes. I saw that and I was like, God, isn't that just, perfect?
Cruel.
That is just so perfect. You are so and so oblivious to the human condition. Like just oblivious that there is anybody else on earth who has any needs whatsoever. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid.
Yeah, why? Why wouldn't he give that water to that guy who's passed out of heat stroke and who had been standing there for hours to see him out of, loyalty to Trump? He still says, I don't care about you. He still says, I love uneducated people. And they hear this and they still stick by him. And it's so obvious what he is. So obvious.
This is the man who told people to drink bleach to cure COVID. So, take it from there. Yeah, take it from there. So Tammy is asking,
hi, Tammy.
Will Trump and Biden do 2 debates? I assume if they do, that Biden will win. Well, let's see. Do we think they're going to do 2 debates?
He wants Biden to have a drug test. I'd say, okay, well, you have one too then.
Yeah, you go first. I'll race you. Go ahead.
And Biden, they said something about Biden wanting to sit down or something. And he's like, they can't do that. And I'm like, he's 80 years old. Let him sit down if he wants to sit down. What is the harm in that?
Trump wants to sit down too.
I know.
Oh, no, Trump doesn't like to sit because then he sits in his diapers. So, okay.
He just falls asleep.
God. I can't believe that this mess of a man is still the leading Republican for president. That just baffles me. Just baffles me.
It does me too.
Okay.
Okay. Well, he show up. I want to do my pendulum here since it's a yes, no one too. See what it says. Okay. Will Trump and Biden do the 2 debates? I'm getting no. Will Trump back out? I feel like Trump is going to say he's making all these rules, to try to, he's not working with people. He's trying to make all these rules like, you got to do this and you can't do that. And it's all his rules. And I feel like, there's going to be some disappointment because he's not going to get his way. He won't get every rule he wants. And so he's going to claim that, they didn't do what he wanted. So I think he's going to, since he has a lack of control, he wants complete control of everything with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So there's going to be some unwanted changes that they're going to put into the debate that he's not going to like. And therefore, he's going to use that as an excuse and he's going to blame it on Biden. And if he does show up, he's going to fail miserably because Biden is prepared and he has a load of ammunition, and if he says anything about Hunter, well, Hunter wasn't in office. And Hunter was having problems years ago, and he's been clean and sober for a long time. So it's not Hunter they're supposed to be debating. And he has no policies at all that he can argue or talk about. Just revenge.
Yeah, it's going to go badly. So I did a little throw for the June 27th debate, and I did a little throw for the other one. I don't know what the date is for the other one. I think it's in September or something. So for the debate in June, it would be in 9 days here because we're on the 18th of June. The first card is the 5 of Swords. So I don't think that he's going to come to the debate. Mm-hmm. And then right next to it, I got the Ace of Cups. I think that's Joe Biden going, whew, thank you. I got this is great. These are the 2 cards I got, the Magician and Death. So I think Trump is going to poof disappear.
I wish he would.
And then we'll all celebrate. The Six of Wands. We'll all feel happy and victorious.
Oh my gosh. He
Now, the
had some
other
of his people saying that they would want to go to jail with him and keep him company if he's arrested. And I'm like, go for it. And Marjorie Taylor Greene said she's going to leave the union, secede from the union if Trump doesn't win. It's like, bye-bye. I'll pay your ticket.
Yeah,
I will.
good
I
luck.
will pay that ticket. I don't care.
Oh,
I will
yeah.
come up with money to pay
I
that
think a
ticket
lot
for
of
her.
people would. So for the second debate, it's a little less clear. I get Judgment and Temperance. So I think at that point, that is telling me that Trump is changed by the time the date of the second debate comes around. Like he's a different person in some way. Could be physical, could be mental. It could be that the MAGAs have coalesced around him and he's become much more vicious and much more attacking and negative. But I don't know how to really I mean,
What is the date of the second debate?
I don't know. Let me see.
Because I keep getting something in October is going to happen with him, and I feel like it may be mental or physical. I kept feeling like a stroke or something, or something with his brain that is going to be so obvious that he's not going to be able to go on. But I'm getting like October.
Yeah. No.
So it's a maybe. The first one I get no. The second one I get it maybe, but I think that there's going to be some problems with his health.
They're not posting the date.
Oh.
Or maybe I'm just not seeing it here. When is the first debate?
Do you guys know in the chat when the second debate is? Hey, Tanya. Tanya's here. Trumpty
Hi,
Dumpty and Fat
Tanya.
AF Bannon can share a cell. Yes, they can, Tanya. Hi, Connie B.
The second debate is scheduled for September 10th. I found it. Yeah, I thought it was September. Thought it was in a time
I'm
of
getting
Virgo.
October, so I could be off. You can be off a little bit, so maybe something's going to happen then.
Yeah. I feel even before then. I feel like August is a very bad time for him. But I just don't quite. I think that the Judgment and then Temperance, I think this is things kind of catching up to Trump. Physical things catching up to him, monetary things, court things, jail time, cases, indictments. I mean, I think a lot of things catching up to him. And this, despite the fact that I think he is going to have like some kind of explosion in his brain, I think that aside from that, he is going to be changed from all these things. And I think we're going to become aware of it and seeing it. And then I have the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands, which are the two party cards. So I think people are like, yay, no other debate. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. So I don't think he's coming for the second one either. The second one, the first one, though, I think it's hilarious that he gets the Magician and Death. Like literally, he's going to go poof and disappear. So I think it's a last minute regret that Mr. T sends. I think right up to the last minute, I think he's pretending as if he's really going to go do it. And then at the last minute, I think he's going to just pull out like I don't know what he's going to pull
Just like
out.
he was going to testify. Oh, I'll testify. I'd love to testify. I have no problem testifying. And then who takes the fifth? Unless they're guilty, nobody takes the fifth. And
you got it. That's exactly that's exactly what he's going to do. All right. So did you go with your cards? What do you have with your cards?
Oh, I did.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Oh, yes, he is really looking bad. He's all talk. Sounds like him. I'm just checking to see if I missed any other questions. Then I'll go back to the ones I have starred.
Oh, the shark speech. If I was on a boat and it was electric and it was going down and there was sharks and they bite people's legs, I'm like, what is he talking about? Just like the having to flush the toilet 15 times. Well, yeah, if you're flushing documents, it does take a little longer. It just he's losing it.
Yeah, he's lost. I mean, I was watching something about there's a psychiatrist, I guess, who has a podcast that he started a while back. He got together with some psychiatrists in 2015 or 2016, and they started saying, this is a man who is in decline, mental decline, and it isn't because of getting older. It is because he has some serious problems, like possibly dementia or Alzheimer's or something going on, but something that is manifesting physically in him as well as mentally. And that's where you're getting those speech where he phases in and out. He can't find the word. He can't finish the word. He begins the word, so he has the idea, but he can't make his mouth and his brain connect to say the rest of the word. And that's a very specific type of
dementia.
Maybe it's a dementia or just some kind of mental loss of some kind that, that they were recognizing way back then. That's almost 10 years ago. And so now this guy's podcast keeps going. And just like us doing the cards on him, he's doing the analysis on him. I got to watch it because I just think, I noticed that because my dad had a lot of those things. He had, my grandfather had dementia, but my dad had dementia and Alzheimer's among some other things. And I watched him go, round the bend and back again with his career, and it ruined his life and my mom's life. It really ruined it. And I have been up close and personal, unfortunately, with quite a few people who have had different types of psychoses. And when you see people traveling and unraveling, it is scary, but you feel sorry for them. I mean, they're not in control. He's not in control, which is why he tries to control everything around him.
Yeah. And when he knows he's facing prison and all these things, he's desperate now. He will do anything. And then if he does not win, he has nothing to lose. So we got to figure out a way when he's gone to deprogram the people that.
Yes.
That's the big deal, is getting them, because they're still going to be around blaming the Democrats for anything that happens to Trump, making him a martyr.
I'm going to say we have about 5 years, no matter, I think Biden's going to win, but even with Biden winning, I think we still have about 5 years of people being, I'm just going to say it, YouTube, so brace yourself, batshit crazy with this stuff.
Yes.
And they are going to need deprogramming and reprogramming and therapy and love and rehabilitation. It's going to be a lot on all of them.
And I hope someday that they do get, reprogrammed and stuff, because a lot of families have been broken up. A lot of long-term friendships have broken up for their loyalty to him. They have picked him over their own friends and family. And
I'm sure marriages. I mean,
marriages, broken up.
So in that sense, our country is in a kind of a civil war.
Yes, it's a different kind.
Yeah, a different kind. And as people started talking even 10 years ago, not about this, but about wars to come, and they were saying, the wars are not going to look like they did even in the 60s and the 50s. I mean, look how much war changed from World War I up to the 60s. Honestly, not a hell of a lot, because we were still doing hand-to-hand combat. Yet we were relying more and more and more on more powerful weapons. Now the war is through social media. It's through the internet. It's through politics. It's through, your community and word of mouth and your reputation. So I think it's coming full circle to where when it really gets to the other side of the circle, people will have much more reverence for character.
Yes. I think so too. My husband often says he thinks social media, yes, it can be a good thing. You can keep up with family members, recipes, see friends. I like that kind of stuff, but it can be terrible because they can spread so much disinformation and hate. And and people are cruel when they're doing it. Like even on what we're doing, sometimes in the comments, people will say cruel, mean things that they would not say to you face to face. It's sometimes I wish we didn't have social media. Used to be your mom would just read the paper and watch the 10 o'clock news, and that was it.
Well, I just was listening to an interview of the U.S. Surgeon General, whose name is Vivek Murthy, and he is suggesting and trying to get a bill started in Congress to put label warnings on social media platforms, all social media platforms, not just Facebook and X, but all of them, like Reddit and Snapchat, and I can't think of all the other ones that have come up, but all of them, Instagram, YouTube, you name it, to warn people of the harm to young people's
psyche,
emotional, their psyche, their emotional well-being, and adults too. He thinks it should be labeled the same way we label cigarettes or alcohol.
I agree because they say it's not guns, it's that people that have mental problems, but what are they doing about it? They've closed down all the mental hospital facilities. I have a friend who has a daughter who needs help, and there's only a place she can go at the hospital for a few days, and she needs more help than that. There are people that need, and then what do they end up doing? They end up on the street. They end up, they don't take their medications, and they end up, stuff happens. They really need to, if they say it's because of mental illness, then do something about it.
Exactly.
Help people.
And they're handling this the same way they handle the gun issue. They do nothing but give their thoughts and prayers. And it's unbelievably bad, rude, the height of immorality to say that you are serving your constituents and then doing absolutely nothing. It is just outrageous. It's just outrageous.
Yeah, and thoughts and prayers are fine, but they need action. You need action behind the thoughts and prayers.
They really do. So I'm not quite sure I understand this. So will Bannon be in court for the wall? Oh, the Mexico wall case.
Stealing the money?
Yeah, while he's already in jail for contempt. I don't know if it'll come that fast.
Because he got pardoned for that. I probably paid the $2 million to Trump for the pardon, and that's why he's loyal to Trump. But he got a pardon for that. But I wonder, can they revoke the pardon if they know it was paid for?
Well, they can break. Well, yeah. So I think Rose Blue. It won't be while he's in jail for contempt, because that's only 4 months. He's only going to be in there for a few months. But if they're, smart like Jack Smith is, they can rework the charges so that it doesn't go along with the parameters of the pardon. Or if they declare that the pardon was illegitimate, then they can charge him again. I mean, Bannon can argue double jeopardy, but I think Jack Smith could find a way around it. He could say double jeopardy, but he was never tried on those charges. So technically it's not double jeopardy.
Yeah, and you think his people, these people build the wall, they donated money for this wall. These are Trump's people, and he took their money and pocketed it, and then Trump pardons them. Well, somebody steals my money, pockets it, and this person pardons them. Why are you friends with that person? Why are you supporting that person? They stole from you. I don't see Biden having hats and shirts and flags and all this stuff either, selling all over the place. It's just a con. It's just a con.
So I'm just shuffling about Steve Bannon in general. Is he going to be tried on anything else, the wall, anything? Because he was also one of the architects of January 6th, so he should be tried for that.
Okay.
Go right ahead if you're ready.
All righty. Well, let's see. I get that the Ace of Wands, there's going to be some arguments and some hostility and some arguments about this. They're going to, they know he lied. He lied about this. It's going to be brought back up again. I feel like there is people are going to want some accountability from him, some justice. And I feel like they're going to try to get justice. They're going to try to get, tell him that pardon, it was bought and paid for. And so I think they'll try to take that out, but they're trying to figure out a way to do it. So they're unsure, I think, about how to do it. And I feel like there's going to be some setbacks with it. So it's nothing that's going to happen really soon. There's going to be this is waiting, delays, chaos. So it's going to take a while. I feel like, again, in reverse, delays. In the end, I think he is going to be asking for forgiveness. He's going to have excuses for it. It's going to come to court. I feel like it's not going to be till 2026, though. I don't think it's going to be right away. But he's going to have some excuse and victim. They've all learned to be the victim and blame others.
And you're thinking that that's going to be a court case pertaining to the wall? They're going to bring that back up again? Okay.
I think it'll come back up again, but I don't think it'll come back up. I don't think it'll be till 2026.
2026. I totally agree with that. I think you're right about that. But I think in the meantime, he might have some other fish to fry. And that is because what I get for him is the High Priestess. And for me, the High Priestess is Tanya Chetkin. Look at that face. Doesn't she look like Tanya Chetkin? I think she looks like Tanya Chetkin. So I think that Bannon is going to be one of those co-conspirators named in the January 6th case. And I think that is going to come up. So I don't think that he's one of the 4 or 5 that were named in the indictment with Trump. I think Jack Smith is going to bring another series of indictments, and Bannon will be named in that. And I do think that Tanya Chetkin is going to get the case. And I think they are going to not look kindly on the fact that he basically stole a pardon and got away with the crap at the wall and God knows what else. And, Bannon is going to feel like, hey, I can beat anything. I can beat this. You're nothing to me. And he's going to keep mouthing off and mouthing off and mouthing off. But I do see him humbling himself at a certain point right before he gets sentenced. And I see him maybe even crying and being very, very miserable about his fate.
Yeah. So I got asking for forgiveness.
He's going to go back to jail. He's got the 6 of Swords here. He's going to jail. And then look at this. I get the Knight of Wands. Now I got the King of Wands and all those other things. So he's kind of like the second in command, or he thinks of himself as the second in command. So this tells me that if Bannon's going to jail, then something's going to happen to Mr. T. He's going to have some kind of super duper confinement. It may not be actual prison, but some kind of super duper, we got to take away all your goodies and you got to sit there and, wear the orange jumpsuit. Something's going to happen to him because the King of Wands is going down and the Knight of Wands is going down. Now, I think that this could roll into 2025. I think it's possible. I'm not super confident about that, but I think it's possible that the indictment could come down this year, because I think Jack Smith will get much more busy with his indictments the more that Trump unravels. And I think the indictment may come out this year. The case probably more like next year, like 2025.
They're working on Trump first, and then they're going to start getting the rest. Marjorie is going to get it. I think what's his name, Gates, Jim Jordan for sure. Yep, they're all going to get subpoenas.
I have a list of people. I could bring it up. I have a list of people who have all been his cohorts in this, and they're all going to get indicted. All of them. I don't know if they'll all go to prison, but they'll all get indicted.
I think that's why they fight so hard for him. I don't know if it's that they love him so much. It's because they're fighting for themselves. They know they were involved in all this too. And they see he's gotten away with stuff so far by being belligerent and stuff like that. So they think it'll work for them too. And it's not going to.
Yeah. So this little trip that Trump took to Washington, where he had all of the people, the senators and stuff, woo him. Basically, they threw him a birthday party. They gave him
really, I missed that.
Yeah, so he went to Washington to kind of rally the troops, right? And the picture that they put up, I counted the number of people in the room with him that were in the picture frame, and even counting like random hands that came into the frame, and I think one person's leg and foot came into the frame. It was not even 20 people around him. Not even 20 people. So I think it's important to remember that the Republicans are a real minority in the United States these days. A lot of people have left the party. And of those, maybe a third of what's left are true MAGAs. And so the number of people who are true MAGAs in the Republican Party and who are going to vote for Trump are not a huge number. It's still a significant number. He'll still get some electoral college votes, but it's not a huge number. I just don't think mathematically, I just don't think he can pull it off. And so, because I think a lot of those Republicans, if they're still there, I think they're going to end up voting for Biden, because I don't think that they're going to want to vote for Trump, or maybe they'll vote for somebody they write in or something. But I don't think they're going to vote for Trump because it's too dangerous to do that. But what do we think they were cooking up when Trump was there in Washington and having his little birthday cake? What do you think that they were cogitating about? What were they dreaming about? What were they planning and scheming about? Shall we read on that?
Yeah, I was going to tell you too about when you said a lot of Republicans won't vote. I have Republican friends that are big Trumpers, and I make a rule: we do not talk about politics, or we're going to end up fighting. Yeah. But one called me up and she was trying to start to talk about Trump. And I go, no, no, we're not going there. And she said, no, I want to tell you, I'm not voting. I've had several of them say, I am not voting. I can't vote for Biden because they're Republican, but they said I cannot vote for Trump with everything anymore. So they're just not voting. And I think that's what we're going to get, is a lot of Republicans are going to stay home.
Yeah, I think you're right. How can they? Anybody who has half a brain to look at his behavior, how could you vote for that? How could you vote for that? Unless you're MAGA, unless you're like drank the Kool-Aid, bought the t-shirt, wearing the diaper, and you're a full-blown cult member,
Yep.
I know.
I have a family member that way. We don't see each other.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard on families.
It is. So, okay, how are we asking this is...
So what do we think that they were scheming and dreaming up? Trump had some kind of an agenda. There was some reason that he wanted to show himself in Washington. And so what was up with that? What was he trying to do? Because he doesn't do anything for, nothing. Everything has a purpose with him. Oh, I get it. Okay. I get it.
Okay, you go ahead and go if you got yours.
Oh my God. Okay, so he gets the card that fell out while I was shuffling is the Seven of Pentacles. So he's just, he's dreaming of big money bags and big things that he can get, and let me get this, and this is going to be so good for me. And he really thinks that all of his stupid tricks are really just working it, and I'm getting more and more. But his first card in the regular cards comes up the Ace of Cups and the Empress. So he went there to schmooze. He went there to, put lipstick on a pig's ear. And he really felt like if he just showed up, graced them with his presence, that everybody would just fall in line. Well, those 20 people in the photograph did, but I don't know for how long, maybe just for the photograph. And I know there were a pair of hands holding the birthday cake. I saw a picture of that, but I didn't see a big crowd of people around him. I just didn't. It just there was no photographic evidence of that.
He just
And
waved to nobody. He'll just wave to like,
yeah. But why go all the way to Washington if you're not gonna sit down and talk to people? So he was trying to talk people into giving him money. That's what he wanted. He just wanted more money. But he also found that he was more alone than he expected. He really didn't expect to be so kind of shut out of things. I mean, even the room that they booked for him, I can see in the picture, it's not even a conference room. It's not a very big room. It's like the lobby to several offices. Like it's not real big. And the final card's the Two of Cups. So he made a few alliances or shored them up, or maybe even made a couple of new ones, but he wanted to make sure that he had people in his corner and that they were going to give him money. And I think he came up a little bit dry on those things. I don't think it was a super satisfying visit. So that's what I got.
I heard that they were thinking he was a fool. I did hear that he was just foolish. I got that, I got the 9 of Swords in reverse. So, of course, the self-pity, things how the victimhood, he talked about how he's a victim, how the left is doing this and that. So he talked about his victimhood, but I think they think that he is a little imbalanced. They found him that he's not right. He's a little bit imbalanced. And they thought, I feel like there was some confusion, and they think, the way he talked, he didn't make sense. And so there was some confusion with him. I think they feel like he's an ineffective and weak leader. They don't think he's going to be able to lead the country. However, they're Republican, and they're doing it for the money and what they can get and the tax breaks. So, see, again, prosperity. They want to manifest those tax breaks, even though they think he's a weak leader. They feel like they're just stuck with him, that they can't move on. Even though they want to, they feel they can't move on because, if the Democrat gets in, they're going to end up making them pay their fair share of the taxes. They don't want that. He's promising them, I'll cut your taxes permanently, and so even though they think he's imbalanced, a weak leader, no good, look at all the things he calls people's wives' names, things like that, and they still stick with him. Look what he did to what's his name, Cruz, talked about his father and his wife and called her ugly, and he still kisses his butt. So they're going to stick with him no matter what, like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, and Mitch McConnell does not like him. So that I don't get. And he has insulted their wives. He has insulted them. He has turned on them. He has betrayed them several times, and yet they still keep up with that. So I don't know. I don't know how he gets them to go along with it. I mean, just shaming them is not enough. I'm sure there is other blackmail maybe going on. I mean, I have no idea, but it's
corruption, money.
Yeah. Well, but how does he have money over them? He doesn't give anybody money.
Well, if he is in power, though, he can cut their taxes, and he's promised to do it permanently. And then he's got Putin helping him. He has, I think Putin has one of the Americans over there, and he's like, I can get him out. He'll do it for me. He'll let him go for me. Nobody else. But it's like, well, why don't you let him go? Just like he said, I could stop the war in Ukraine like that. And Zelensky says, well, do it. People are dying. Do it. Why are you waiting for you to be president? It's like holding blackmail over your head. You guys will quit dying if I'm president. You'll have tax breaks if I'm president. He's just disgust. I'm sorry.
He is. He's very, yeah.
Blech.
Yeah, really bad. But anyway, okay. So
But he's not going to be president, so I'm trying not to worry about it. But it's still, I still want everybody, please, please, please vote like your life depends on it. Vote for the women and for the, for all of us.
yeah. He's not going to win, but we'll still have the fallout from his MAGA madness for several years. It's going
I
to
think
take
so too.
it's going to take years for this to really begin to get resolved. So Christine Bemmel says that the Wall case is from New York. He goes in front of Marchand in September.
Oh, really?
Oh, didn't know that.
Good.
September. So, and is that, Christine, is that CC Ryder is saying too, Bannon build the wall trial is in New York State. No, see, he'll be out of jail. Will he be out of jail by then? No, he'll still be in jail. They'll have to bring him from jail to go because he's got 4 months. He's got July, August, September, October. So he'll still be in jail when that happens.
Maybe it's just going to be later when he's re-jailed for this, because they'll just be delay.
Yeah. And also,
Repeal.
CC Ryder says that Trump pardoned Bannon for federal build the wall charges. And these are state. Oh, well, that's good.
Oh, good.
That's heartening that we know that. But I do think that I think there's going to be future indictments from Jack Smith, also including Bannon. So
Yeah.
Bannon needs to put a little money in his piggy bank for some attorneys because he's going to need them really a lot for the next.
Giuliani too. He's post.
Oh, Giuliani. Yeah, Giuliani's just a mess. Well, listen, we've been on an hour here.
Wow.
And I think we've just about solved world peace.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I was hoping in this hour we could do that.
Yeah, me too. That's always my goal. So so thank you everybody in the chat for joining us. This has been really fun. Thank you for all your information. That really helps us. And thank you for all your questions. And DeAnn, thank you for coming on. This was really, really fun.
Welcome.
And I think we're both in the same mental state. So I think it was a really good time for us to be together.
Yes. We're both kind of exhausted. Had a busy week.
And kind of like, I had enough. But anyway, you'll be coming back soon, I'm sure.
I hope so. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you will. All right, everybody. Let's see. I would love to tell you when DeAnn is going to be back, but let's just say that, sometime this summer, she's going to be back.
I'll be back.
She'll be back. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.